What's going on, everybody? You've got the card board coach here with your boy, Coach Co. And team, today we've got a very special guest on the podcast here today. We've got Cassius Marsh, aka ex-NFL player, aka owner of Cash Cards Unlimited. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm good, brother. I'm gonna help you out right here too,
Yeah,
man.
go
I'm
for
gonna
it.
help out probably a lot of people,
Go
man.
for it.
My name is Cassius Marsh.
Cassius.
Yes,
There
and
you
you know
go.
what? I'm not even upset, bro, because I can tell you right now, I know people that I've corrected probably 3 or 4 times, and they still mess up my name, bro. So it is all good, but I'm sure like this is for everybody watching. It's Cassius, like Cassius Clay.
People call me Brandon all the time, so we're good, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I know, it is what it is, bro. You gotta learn to just live with it. But
Yeah.
it's good to be here, man. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have you on, especially because I was sharing this with you, and I've shared this with a few of my followers that I recently started to build out a commander deck, and like we can get into that. I don't want to get into it right away because I want this to be about you, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm like, super excited to hear and just shoot the shit about Magic. I mean, it's been a while since I've played. I mean, I jumped back into it in like 2018, like before the pandemic. One of my buddies, he's like, yo, you got to get back into Magic. He's like, it's like sick right now. And at the time I was like only playing standard. And I think if Commander wasn't, I think Commander might have just started. And he's like,
It
man,
was,
like, go for it.
yeah, no, it was around. It was
Yeah.
around. It just like nobody was really talking about it. And I think that's kind of around when it started to like catch a little bit.
Yeah.
But like where it's come since like 2018, dude, but like how far it's come since then is nuts. It's I mean it's to me it saved Magic. I mean it's everything for Magic the Gathering, bro. Like standard, like you were only playing standard back then. Well,
That's
like
it.
now
That's
there's pretty
it.
much
Yeah,
nobody
man.
playing standard and everybody plays Commander, so it's kind of crazy.
So talk to me about, so how do you feel about like reprinting iconic cards, right? So like Mana Crypt has been now reprinted like 3 times now, I think, right? And that's a card that is and was a very expensive card. I mean, even the reprints are kind of pricey, but when we started to get into like these reprinting, and especially when it comes to commander decks, I mean, they kind of want to make these cards accessible for everybody, right?
Yeah, I think that the reprinting is I think that the reprinting is a good thing for the gameplay base.
Okay.
For the people really playing the game, which is majority of Magic. I do think that it's good. It's good for people who are trying to get into the game of Magic. It helps the point of entry, from a price standpoint on the level of decks that you can play and like how quickly you can put together a deck. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Mana Crypt is I don't know. I think it's at like probably like 150 or something like that, or maybe
Yeah.
there's some cheaper copies. But at one point it was like Mana Crypt was like $200, and
Yeah.
some people's whole decks are like $200, which I the whole budget thing is just like blows my mind. I don't know how people do it, but I think that it's a positive thing. I think it sucks for the people who really like were into the collecting side, especially for like modern cards like non-reserve list.
Yeah.
But that's a small pool of people, and I think in the long run it's going to be good for the growth of the game. So I don't love it because I was one of those guys that likes collecting.
Yeah.
I was just like, hey, look, they're going to reprint everything. I'm just going to liquidate my collection. You know what I'm saying? And I'll hold
Yeah.
on to the reserve list stuff, and I'll have my 8 decks, my 8 decks belt out, and just have fun with it and just be like a gameplay guy, like like the rest of the Magic population. So
Which
uh,
was like kind of what it's built for, though. Do you know what I mean?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like how can you be against
Yeah.
helping out, helping people access the gameplay of Magic the Gathering. So I'm not against it. I think it is what it is. Like not my favorite thing in the world, but I think it's necessary for the growth of the game.
Do you think that the older copies, the earlier copies, stuff like Alpha, do you think those copies, as a result of all this, reprinting, should be a little bit more expensive than they are? Because I find that the like the price difference isn't a ton. Like it might be 2.5x.
They're dropping right now.
Yeah.
It's because of the way WotC is reprinting the modern stuff, and they're losing faith that they will respect the reserve list. And I've spoken to a lot of the big whales in the community, and people just don't feel safe. They don't feel protected by WotC. They feel that Hasbro has, come in and made it all about profitability, which is, what the, it's business, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like, as a business owner, like I totally understand, like this is not me speaking out on Hasbro or anything like that, but the problem is that when you start a company and like your whole spiel, your whole deal is like we're about the player pool, and it's like players first and collectors, and like we're gonna do this reserve list to protect, to protect the early investors and like all that jazz. But then you go on a reprinting spree, and then you do the Magic 30 stuff, and you do all these things that that they're not, you're not really protecting your investors, the people who really really invest a lot into the game. So it's a weird thing, if over the next couple of years, if we feel better about them, about WotC not reprinting the reserve list, and you feel more confident about that, I think the cards will go up. And also, reserve list stuff is reflective of like what the market looks like. So,
Yeah.
not to get into like politics or anything like that, but like the general market here in the States and stuff is like just the general market in the world right now is not the healthiest. So,
Yeah. That's understandable. Talk
yeah.
to me about how did we get to this point where now you have one location, right? You have an actual shop. You're opening a second shop. You are very prevalent in the TCG realm. Um, known for Magic, but obviously you've got some range.
Yeah.
Ex NFL player. How does that transition?
So I'm still active. I
All
haven't been
right.
I haven't been signed to like, so I tore my ACL, and this was kind of like a thing, like when I tore my ACL at the end of not last season but the season prior, I didn't tell anybody. I didn't go to social media. I didn't announce it. The Bears didn't announce. I actually asked the Bears not to really make a big deal about it. And everybody just figured like, oh, Cassius decided to stop playing because he's got this business, and it all makes sense. I just didn't want to make a big deal about it. I just wanted to rehab my knee and build my business and just lock in. And so like there's this common misconception that I'm done with football. And you know who knows, I might be, I might not make it back into the league. The league moves on,
Yeah.
and that's just the reality of the business. But I'm still working out, still waiting for an opportunity, and if it comes, then I'll go out there and play ball again, play the game that I've loved for my whole life and will continue to love my whole life. But in the meantime, I've been really, really enjoying building this business and being a part of the community that I've grown to love since I was a young kid. And you know, as far as like how we got here, man, I've always wanted to open a store. For as long as I can remember. Probably I can remember thinking back like 14 or 15. I was at Friday Night Magic at my local game shop. Shout outs
Yeah.
to Hidden Fortress. They're still open in Simi Valley, California. That's where where my love for Magic the Gathering really grew. And I was sitting in there thinking, man, this place is small, kind of stinks. You know, it's not the cleanest place in the world.
Yeah.
There's not a. It just felt like it could be so much better, and I always just thought like, man, why are card shops like this? Because it's like
Yeah.
Hidden Fortress was probably one of the better examples, than
Yeah.
like a lot of these other places, and I just always felt that there was a lot of room for improvement. So like I was like, man, I'm gonna go to NFL and I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna make a ton of money, and then when I'm done playing, like I'm gonna open up a shop and I'm gonna have a ball just nerding out all day long, playing Magic, collecting Pokemon, I had a love for sports cards as well, but during that time, sports cards were kind of like black. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I was like the '90s,
Yeah.
early 2000s. There wasn't that
People
market
were
was.
kind of over sports cards, right? Like just because the overprinting happened in like the
Yeah,
late 80s, early 90s.
yeah. Junk wax era definitely ruined it for a lot of people, and so like, for me it was Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh. Pokemon is what started my love, and then I found Yu-Gi-Oh and I loved that, and then Yu-Gi-Oh kind of got away from what they were doing, and I got over it, and I went into a shop. I went into that Hidden Fortress shop, and asked them for Magic, or asked them for Yu-Gi-Oh first. They said no. I said, "Oh, well, do you have Pokemon?" They said no. We're a Magic the Gathering shop. And from that point forward, dude, I was a Magic the Gathering all the way, bro. And so, anyways, man, I over the first couple years, after the whole debacle of getting like my card stolen and becoming a kind of influencer through like that viral moment, I had deals where I was getting product for for just doing like posts and stuff like
Yeah.
that on social media, and I stored like probably like $500,000 worth of like sealed product in a storage closet here in
Magic cards
Magic
or like
cards.
everything.
No, just Magic cards.
Okay.
That was my thing. It was Magic.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It
Yeah.
was so
Yeah.
I just kept like I opened what I wanted to get build my collection, and then I put whatever was left in storage, and you know um 4 years ago, when the market started kind of booming from like just before COVID like really took off.
Yeah.
I was like, man, it's now or never. I see like I see the rise, and I see everybody's getting into anime and all this nerdy stuff's like kind of trying to become popular. I'm like, if I don't open this shop now, it may be too late, in the next couple of years. And so while I was still playing for the Steelers, we opened up the shop, and built it up, and for 3-4 years later, we're here now. I've got my location in Thousand Oaks, California. We've got a booth at Frankensons, the legendary Frankensons
Yep.
collectible show, and we just signed a deal to open up a second shop location at the Woodland Hills, the Topanga Canyon Mall here in Woodland Hills. So um, blessed, man, and grateful to all the people who supported Cash Cards to get to this point, and eager to keep building, man. I think there's a lot still out there for trading cards, man, and I think a lot of people see that, and a lot of people are excited about the future. And I've been one of the guys that's been telling people for a while,
Yeah.
you know and now people are starting to get it.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the transition from like the COVID hype into where we're at now, where I think there's significantly more stability. I don't
Yeah,
know if like we're at that, a true stable point in the markets yet. I mean, like you talked about previously, I mean, the global economy has somewhat to do with it. People will always collect, but it's just a matter of like new entrants and having disposable income and stuff of that nature.
yeah,
But it's been interesting. I know I didn't pull the trigger during COVID, especially when it came to Magic,
yeah,
because I thought that the price of some things were like, I was like, well, this is too high. And at the time, I was like, this is a game that like you have to play with someone else. There really wasn't like there was no, you couldn't see people, you couldn't hang out with maybe a very small group of people. And I'm like, these people don't play Magic. If they did,
yeah,
I'd probably go super hard and we would be
yeah,
having a different conversation. But I'm like the people that like, you're just a group together with people. We had some pretty severe lockdown conditions in Canada and in Toronto specifically.
yeah,
And so I was like, I'm gonna hold off on this. And I've always kind of been paying attention to, new releases, and I'm like, oh, they re-released Mana Crypt and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. And that's why I decided I'm like, I'm gonna jump into this and mess around a little bit. It's interesting you mentioned, the Pokemon to Yu-Gi-Oh to Magic, because that's like my trajectory as well. Or like I started Pokemon, then I got into Yu-Gi-Oh, I got like very into Yu-Gi-Oh.
hard.
And again, it was like I was all about the dueling. Like I don't give a shit about like the collecting aspect
Let's
of Yu-Gi-Oh. I was
freaking
like,
duel,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. I was like,
Let's
oh.
duel. Yeah.
And like especially with like the holographic, like the dual discs. I'm like, bro, if that thing was real, that's game over.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, if they come out with an old school Yu-Gi-Oh, right? The old school game, not this new stuff. I don't know nothing
I
about it.
agree
I
with yeah, yeah,
want
yeah.
nothing to do with it. But they
With the
come
new
out with
links and
old
all that
school
other shit
Yu-Gi-Oh with the thing, and
and the
you tell me
holograms.
that the monsters are gonna show up, bro. I'm there. I'll drop a straight bag on that game, bro. Like
Yeah.
yesterday, I would have. I'm telling you like that. Yu-Gi-Oh was so sick, and they had the show was phenomenal. Yeah, dude, Yu-Gi-Oh was dope, and then it kind of like lost some of its
Well, you just kind of like get older, right? Like it's like you kind of like mature a little bit and you're like, this is like kind of kiddie now, like
yeah,
and there's like I feel
and then
like
I found
Magic's like the
Magic, and I
natural
was like,
progression. Pardon?
yeah, Magic's the natural. It
Yeah.
is like
Yeah.
it's harder. It's way harder to play. It's way more. It's extremely. I think Magic's the most complicated, probably most challenging game in the world,
Have you
like
tried
by
to explain it to
far.
someone who's never played before?
It there's ways
Impossible.
to explain it very simple, but as soon as they start playing, like start watching people who are at expert level, they're like, "What is
Impossible.
happening right here?" It's like it's crazy,
When
bro.
you
And
like sync like 3 or 4 or 5 cards, it literally feels like you're casting a spell.
oh, it's crazy because you got like the stacks, right? The
Yeah.
stacks. Like people
Yeah.
don't like what does that mean?
Yeah.
And it's like the last like explaining to people that the last spell casted is the first to
To
resolve.
resolve. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
like I remember when I first even
Yeah.
it's still to like probably until I got back into the game, I was like, this is so stupid. But now that I get the game, it makes sense
Like it
because
makes
it's
sense if it's like a stack of like to-do list or something, it's like the something on the first thing, even if it was that the stuff on the bottom is,
yeah,
might have been put there because it was the most notable at a time.
yeah.
Like this, you start from like last to first.
Yeah, and the interactions, just everything, man. It's so complicated, but it's an amazing game. Like I have so much fun playing it, and there's the collectability to it. The art is amazing, and the community is dope. The community can also be toxic. Um,
I think
that's
every
one.
every community is like that, man.
I think Magic though. I think Magic though is like the toxic community that does exist is potent, bro.
Yeah.
It's potent, bro. Like if you piss off those Reddit team, like the Reddit guys on Magic for Magic, I'm telling you, bro, those
What do you
guys.
gotta what do you gotta do to piss them off?
I don't know. I'll never find out because your boy is like I'm like all positivity, all love. Who I'm gonna support everybody, love
Yeah.
everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, man. But the game is wonderful and I've met so many cool people. I think that's one of my favorite parts about Magic is just like how many dope people I've met through the game. Like Posty and Joe Manganiello and like Joe Johnson and just like all these people who I just like would have never in a million years met had it not been for Magic the Gathering. So it's I don't know, man. I love the game. I'm very, very passionate about the game, and I'm passionate about trading cards, man, because you just have so much fun. It's so pure.
Yeah.
Even just opening Pokemon cards with my son, like he loves it, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
He loves it. He gets fired. Like I
Does the
still
show
get
does the show still run?
what's that?
Does the show like is
Pokemon,
it
yeah, it
still
does,
on?
100%. He
Yeah.
was watching it this morning, bro. Like I was
Really?
getting him ready for school this morning, and I put Pokemon
Really?
on for him to watch. And we were low key late this morning because like I started watching this show, and I'm like, oh shit, like we gotta go. It's Pokemon's just so good, and yeah, it's awesome, bro. I just love trading cards, and it's dope. And even sports cards, bro. It's I got to go to the National this year, which was amazing. Getting to see that like the National was just so healthy and so alive and so many cool people out there. I got to meet a lot of cool people and give away some stuff and like see the kids, like you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
awesome. It's the community is alive, bro. What is it? What's my boy over there at Backyard Breaks? He said the community, the hobby is
The
alive.
hobby's alive.
The hobby is alive. It is. The hobby is alive, bro.
How's Posty in real life?
The nicest, most genuine, most generous, just sweetest, coolest human being you've ever met, bro. honestly, and this is like really just like no bias, no eye telling. He's probably one of probably my favorite person I've ever met. He's my favorite celebrity by far. He's big, bro, probably one of the biggest superstars, top 10 superstars in the world, bro. And the guy is so genuine and so nice. And like I've never even witnessed any sense of like negativity from the guy, dude. He's so cool and he's a big old nerd and he just loves to game. He loves anime. He loves Magic the Gathering. You know, he loves collecting. I fucking love that guy. I consider him like a brother, bro. I love Posty to death, bro. He's a good person, bro.
What else
Great
does he collect?
fucking dude. I got to go to his crib in
That's
Utah,
crazy.
and he collects like fucking armors,
Really?
like ancient armors and swords, and I know he's into I know he loves like guns and stuff like that. So I'm sure he's got quite a collection of guns. Like I grew up in California, so like we can't have like guns are just like
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
accessible. Like so I've never
Yeah.
had them. So he didn't really show me, but he collects that. I think he likes cars, you know. But I think mainly, bro, mainly the collectibles is cards, bro.
That's
Like
sick.
he just is a collector in general. I think he just likes,
I feel like if you collect one thing, you just collect so many things, right? Like I
and
just
and and art, like it's all like the great part about collectibles, bro. And like this is probably not the smartest thing to say, but like it's a great way to wash your money, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like you can hide a lot of money into like one little, if he
it's
never
true.
told anybody about the one ring card, like he could have easily put like 2 mil, like like that
Yeah.
shit is
To
gone,
be fair, I don't think he told anybody. I don't think it was him
Yeah, he didn't. He doesn't.
that.
I mean, he's a celebrity, bro. He doesn't have to tell anyone shit. There's
I know,
somebody watching him all day. It's like, but
I know.
yeah, he's a true collector, man, and just the overall just phenomenal person. So,
Talk to me about some of the stuff on the shelf behind you.
dude,
What's like your favorite thing on that shelf?
well, my favorite thing on the shelf, bro,
Are those like flapjacks? What are those, man?
these right here.
Yeah, what are those?
These, so you've heard of the company, The Real Autograph?
No.
TheRealAutograph.com, okay? These guys do they do like authentic all through like Beckett, they do signed autograph like memorabilia. So like this is full size helmets,
Oh,
the
sick.
Flaming Hot Heroes, these things right here have
Nice.
authenticated jerseys signed by like all the NFL superstars. They started to do like baseballs, they do mini helmets, they do pops, they do all that kind of stuff. So they're a memorabilia company. They're fantastic,
They
bro.
look like giant cereal boxes. That's
And their branding is
intentionally.
genius.
Yeah,
Their
yeah, yeah.
branding is genius. So shout
Yeah.
outs to my boys over at therealautograph.com. I've got some game balls here. When I played for the Cardinals, we beat the shit out of the Seahawks, and I had just left the Seahawks, so I had a good game against them. They gave me the game ball.
That's sick.
And this one right here is another game ball. When I was with San Fran, we played the Raiders, and I had like 2.5 or 3 sacks or something like that. And then all of this is just like a bunch of Ron English stuff, like just animes. I got my all my little anime girlies right here. I love my anime girlies. Waifu for lifu.
Nice.
We got my boy Yugi up there.
Yeah.
We got Naruto gang. We got Broly, of course. Broly's the GOAT. We got a little bit of everything, bro. We got Bruce Lee over there. Show love to Bruce Lee. Um, got all kinds of cool stuff, bro. We got you probably can't see it. I don't think it's in the picture. Right here, if you see right here,
Yeah.
we got
Yeah. Yeah.
my boy Steve Aoki, one of his little
I see
pieces right
it.
there. Shout outs to Steve. That's my dog. He's also extremely nice, very humble celebrity. Love that guy to death. Super kind guy. And then right here, we have
Ooh.
an Alpha Black Lotus. This is probably one of my favorite things that I have currently right now. Is absolutely beautiful card, big like holy grail type card. Got a bunch of cool stuff, man. This is like my man, Dan. I just love nerding out in here, man.
What about the Black Lotus? like speaks to you? Like aside from the fact that it's an iconic card, of course, but is it like how you acquired it? Is it, just like
Oh,
it's like a summit moment for you, like what is it?
well, this one in particular is the first Alpha Lotus that I've owned. And the way that I got it was really cool. I was in my TikTok lives. Um, if you don't follow me, go follow me on TikTok right now. I go live. We do sports, memorabilia, trading cards, Pokemon, Magic, all that stuff. So go hit me with a follow. But I was in one of my lives, and this guy came into the DM and was like, "Hey, do you buy full sets of older collections of Magic cards?" It's like, absolutely, we buy
Yeah,
all that stuff. Like, send me a
yeah,
DM. So I get done my stream, I go check my DMs right away because I'm always like, oh, well, like what kind of collection,
yeah,
what are we working with here?
yeah.
And all I read is I have a full set of alpha all the way to, and after I heard full set of alpha, I said, I don't fucking, after that, I don't
Yeah, yeah, I don't care.
I said, dude, I want the collection. I will fly out and work out a deal. I'll be there. Give me like 10 days and I'll make my way out there. In less than 10 days, um I went to Idaho and worked out a deal with the guy and sourced the collection and that Lotus was the big piece in the
So you
collection.
graded it yourself.
I did. I graded it with
That's
Beckett
sick.
at the national. I graded it with Beckett at the national, and yeah, it was sick. The guy was really cool. He had a dope story, bro. He was in the military, and he's just played Magic with his boys to stay out of trouble. One of his buddies had like been more of a collector than a player, and he got a divorce and wanted to sell his stuff. He needs some money, and he had a full set of like Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, and like whatever. He bought the full set for I think like he said like 10 or 12K, and yeah, I bought his collection for like 400,000, and yeah, I mean he's awesome. I love the guy. He's like a good friend now. He loved the experience so much that like he's actually looking to invest in cash cards. So like that was just,
Really?
yeah, man, it was cool, bro. Like he's like, what if I wanted to forego one of my payments and just invest in the cash cards? And I'm like, dude, like that's like what cooler way to find an investor than like in that type of situation.
Yeah.
And it's just it's just cool. It's like it was like my first real big collection that I had sourced to
Through
and
TikTok.
yeah, through TikTok. Shout outs to TikTok, man. If I absolutely love streaming on TikTok. I have a lot of fun, and they're doing a great job of making sure that they are selective about the type of people that they bring onto the platform. No bums, and any bums that are on there selling, they'll ban you in a heartbeat. And
I said any bums.
dude, no bums. This is a no bum section. Shout outs to TikTok. And yeah, so it was just a great experience. But as far as like Black Lotus is concerned, bro, it's the holy grail. It's the holy grail. It's like owning a Jordan rookie. It's like owning that Fleer or that Mickey Mantle or that, you know what I mean, that LeBron James rookie or whatever, whoever your guy is, Mike Trout, Otani, like whatever your grail is. Like this is my grail, and I got it in a good story from a good person. And yeah, so it's dope, bro. Like every Magic player in the world wants to own one of those. So
Yeah, for sure.
that's it.
Do you have like another copy that you like put in decks or no? And like
Not
if you wanted to play with it, like do you just keep it on the
not
side?
alpha, bro. That's $140,000 card,
I
bro.
know,
It's
I
like
know, I know. I'm
it's
just
not
fucking with
alpha,
you.
but I have a no ban list deck that I play with Posty and like a couple of other buddies that have the money to
Yeah.
to put into like a $50,000 deck or whatever. And I have a unlimited Black Lotus that's in that deck.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I
I mean, it's still a big card.
it's still
Yeah.
like a 10
That's what
15K.
I mean. Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
yeah, it's a lot of money, bro. Like I'm not downplaying it. It's just the
yeah.
alpha Lotus, like you'd be silly to put that card into a deck, bro. It's just
Yeah.
reckless.
Yeah.
But the crazy part is though, bro,
Tell
is
me.
that old school Magic the Gathering players, they do that.
Yeah, of course.
There's a group called Alpha 40, and they play tournaments with only alpha cards. And they're playing these cards like they're playing with alpha lotuses and alpha everything. They're shuffling up decks. Like
Bro,
it
the
blows
first time
my
I put a
mind.
Magic card in a sleeve was like 2018, and I've been playing since like 2000.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And there's those guys that will
It's
play
like,
like they're like, why are you putting your card in a sleeve? They're meant to be played. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
bro, these cards are now worth like, you know, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. Like, I don't care what you guys were doing in freaking 95, bro. It does not matter to me. Okay. Like I just it's
yeah,
value. I believe in protecting my investment.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
understandable. I just find it hilarious. Who's your go-to commander?
Teferi, temporal archmage,
Nice.
the planeswalker.
It's cool.
Yeah, he's nasty.
And favorite land?
Misty Rainforest. Misty Rainforest, particularly the art by Ryan Yee, the expedition art by Ryan Yee.
This guy's dropping artists and everything. I like it.
Yeah, no. Ryan Yee's a homie. We actually did a collab playmat back in the day. I had this concept that I had been like thinking about like for a long time, and we were able to collab, and he turned it into a dope playmat for me. So it's like a battle mage me riding a polar bear and fighting off some.
What?
Yeah, it's sick, bro. It's sick. I don't have one here with me, I don't think, at the crib right now, but yeah, it's a dope play, Matt. You know, go to cashcardsunlimited.com if you guys want to check it out, man. It's a sick play, Matt. So go check it out.
What's your hope for the hobby in the next little bit? I don't know. Have you seen what's happening with the whole card porn situation? Um, yes, no, maybe. You're allowed to say
No,
no.
please
Yeah, yeah, that's okay. So card porn recently,
oh, card porn.
card porn. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
dude, okay, before I get into answering that
yeah,
the question about like how I see like, whatever.
yeah.
So, dude, that guy is a trip. Okay, so I did a video with him at the at Chicago in Chicago at the Nationals.
Really?
I did a video. I had no idea who the guy like it was my first, whatever,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, at that point he was not in trouble. So like I was just like, oh, he has got some good social media. It's cool, do a little collab, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Um, and we just did a feature on like heritage and like the stuff that they had in there because obviously heritage has a bunch of really cool stuff. And so
Yeah.
whatever, I did a video of my own while he was kind of just filming me do the video or whatever. And he like we're like taking like video and pictures, and he just kept like avoiding being in any
In the
video
videos. Yeah.
pictures, right? And I was like, like that's really weird. And then I said, oh, so I was like, I like when I met him, I'm like, oh, dude, you're the card porn guy. And he was like, shh. I was like, what? Why? That's so
Really?
weird. I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, you're just like maybe you're a hermit, you're just like a little recluse. Like
Yeah,
who
yeah,
knows?
yeah, yeah.
Like, and then after that, after we did that video, I had this guy reach out to me. He's like, he looked like a fellow, like a card shop owner or something like that. And he was like, hey, did you get any pictures with the guy? Like he's like, you did a video with card porn recently, right? And I was like, yeah, like, it's on Heritage. You want, we just covered like heritage stuff or whatever. And he was like, well, did you get a picture with him? And I was like, that's a really weird question to ask. I literally
Yeah.
said that to him, and he
Yeah.
never responded because I just felt sketched out by it. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
why would you ask me that? And anyways, man, like, I really had no interactions with him after that. And then this whole thing came out, and I think some people kind of shared some of the details, but I'm not so much into drama. I just know he messed up real bad, and he
Yeah.
scammed a good amount of people. And that's that type of stuff, bro. I don't get down with, bro. I really I just feel like the hobby's so pure. I feel like it's such a joyful thing, man. It's something to be protected. So like when people like that come in and they scam, like I really have no idea what he did. I just know he scammed a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um, I just can't. I don't get down with it, bro. I think that's awful, bro. So whatever, you
Yeah.
know, whatever consequences he has coming to him, man, he deserves it. So
Yeah, I guess my question is like what can we do to like keep that hobby like pure? You know, like how do we keep it intact? How do we make it so that like people don't get screwed over and don't get scammed and they know, where to turn to? Because I mean, this was an account with like 100,000 plus followers, right? Like,
yeah,
and was like looked at for like information and
yeah.
as a quote unquote watchdog, right? It's like, so like how do we keep this hobby pure is the question I guess I want to ask.
I think that the scammers you just have to call out the scammers, and I think you have to be educated. I think more people need to educate the common buyers, the common collectors on like what to look for and how to go about like making sure things are authentic and like when you're making big purchases, just taking the extra precautions, like if you're like to me if you're buying a card that's over 50,000, you know what I'm saying, like there should be some like you should be able to send it back to PSA and make sure like that slab is authentic and there's got to be more ways that don't cost you money
Yeah.
to like I think the grading companies need to do a better job of just in general they need to do a better job, but they need to do a better job of taking care of the community and stop being so greedy
Yeah.
with
Well, like BGS doesn't even offer like an authenticity guarantee, right? Like
bro,
it's
don't get me on BGS,
yeah.
bro. Don't get me
Yeah.
started on Beckett, bro. Like if they didn't still demand a premium on Magic cards, bro, like I I would have never graded a card with them, bro, because every interaction I've ever had with them has been bad. Nobody I know likes dealing with them. They're not willing to work with anybody. They don't guarantee
Yeah.
authenticity. So what are you doing that? What are you paying for,
Yeah.
And then, but the problem is like the other options aren't that great either. Like there's a lot of issues with PSA and I think they're trying,
Yeah.
you know, I think and I think CGC is trying, but like every time I turn around there's some crazy issue and then, the way that they handle it's just I think really the grading companies like they just have to do better. And I think that we as a community just have to call people out more often and I don't know, man. It's that's a really, really, really tough question.
Yeah.
But man, I think if we like stick together, I think these big companies coming into the into this
Yeah.
is great because you know bigger companies that have um more to lose than just like PSA, all they grade is trading cards, like that. So that's it, but
Yeah.
like someone like TikTok, someone like DraftKings, someone like Fanatics, someone like eBay, they've got all kinds of categories, you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
these companies are gonna, I feel like they're gonna come in and help like make it more authentic, bring more money, more jobs into the hobby, bring authenticity, and like I said, shout outs to
Yeah.
TikTok, because they're doing a good job of making sure that the people that are selling on their platform, they've got receipts from distributors. They've got receipts on wherever they're getting, their supply from, like it's coming from.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
In order
awesome.
to start being a seller on TikTok, you've got to show them where you're getting your supply from. So if you're not getting your stuff from distributors, if you don't have receipts on like where you're getting, your supply, you're not going to be streaming on the platform. And like shout outs to Fanatics. Like I have an overhead camera right here that you guys can't see, but they force you to use an overhead camera that shows everything that you're doing. It's not on screen, but like you know they're making sure that if you're selling something on their platform, that you're doing it the right way, and they're not letting any of the scumbags in the community be a part of the growth.
So
And I think
you're
that's
running three cameras going into Fanatics Live.
yes. Yes. Well, technically, I think yeah, well, you run three cameras. I don't think you have to, you can, yeah, it's three cameras. I mean, there's certain ways to set it up to where you can have like one image, like you can put OBS into one category or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
technically, it's three cameras. So you got your front facing, your card facing, and then there's an overhead camera that that's not like fed into OBS and not projected, but like they're monitoring.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Fantastic, bro.
That is
I
fantastic. I
fucking
know because
love it.
like I read the terms when they first launched it, and I was like, three cameras is like sounds like a great idea, right? And then you watch a few streams, and you're like, wait, there's only two,
No,
and
no.
but there's a third one that
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah, they're monitoring. They're monitoring. They're not going to show it to, they're not going to show it to because if the third camera like makes it really hard, like the streaming and like, might
That'd
overwork
be
the system
fair.
or whatever, but
Yeah.
they're monitoring you. Like you're not, you know what I mean? There's none of that whatnot shenanigans, you know? Nobody's getting Blake Martinez out here.
Everyone's getting called out this episode or shouted out. Apparently, it's like it's
I
like
don't care, bro. I
it's
keep it
one
real, bro. I
one
keep
or
it
the
real. Like it
other.
just is what
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
Like I'm not.
yeah.
I've always been honest and like, and honestly, like to be real with you, bro. It probably doesn't like help me that like much and like sometimes in business, but like I am just an authentic person. I believe in being real
Yeah.
and being honest. And people mess up and and like I'm the one to judge. I'm not perfect by any means. Like I've messed up before and I'm not perfect by any means. But like I just the scamming stuff, like stealing from people, like that's just I can't do it,
Especially
bro. Like
your people, bro. You're stealing
they're
from
your
your
people, they're
people. That's the worst
your
part.
fans,
You're
bro.
stealing from
They
your
love
people.
you. These people like low key worship you, bro. Like you're like, I
Don't
have
get
guys that
it.
are military vets that'll hit me up and be like, dude, like your stream makes me, I've had a hard time since I got out of the military. I miss my boys. Like your stream makes me. I'm like, dude, how could you scam somebody that's like, that shit
And a
kills
lot
me.
of time it's like $20 or like $30. I'm like, bro, what are you fucking
20 extra
doing,
bucks
man?
per purchase,
I
you know what I
don't
mean? But
understand.
if you do that 2,000 times,
No, I
bro,
understand for sure, but like, it's like, man, it's just not like it's not worth it. You're playing like short, like you're thinking way too short, like, and again, like I guess you never really know what people are going through and whatever, right? But it's like
yeah.
it just baffles me. I'm like, you have these people that they cared enough to bring you here, basically, and you're just gonna send them out to pasture.
Yeah, bro. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to get into the details of
Yeah,
that whole
yeah, yeah.
situation, but I'm eager to see how it unfolds, bro. Because there's some people on the inside of whatnot that
Bro,
were
that's what's
very,
baffling.
very close to that
That's
situation.
what's baffling. I'm pretty sure he's an investor.
Oh, I know he is. And he's got a bald head like you.
I'm like, bro, how is this happening?
Crazy, bro. Crazy. Crazy.
I
Like
don't know.
I'm just waiting for it to unfold, you know what I'm saying? Like the chickens, what do they say? What are the
The
chickens?
chickens come home to roost, I think. Is
Yeah,
that
the
it?
chickens come home to roost.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So, but
Seriously
yeah,
though,
man,
is that okay, what were you gonna say before I
no, I was just saying, like, we got to stick together. We got to keep the riffraff out, man. Get after people that are doing things the wrong way. And, you know, unfortunately, with that comes like people like constantly being like sketched out, like,
yeah.
and accusing you and like not even accusing you, but like, how do we know you're not, scamming?
Yeah.
Like, keep your hands in the video at all times. And it's like, damn, dude, I'm just streaming. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to have a good time. Like, don't stress me out with that stuff. I'm not trying to steal your $20 pack, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know?
Is there a big market for graded magic cards?
Yes, but it's
Like,
pretty much strictly like reserve list stuff.
okay, okay. That's what I was wondering. Yeah, because I'm like, I can't imagine someone grading like an ultra modern magic card.
You will like you'll start seeing like the serialized cards get graded. Like I graded this card right here. It's like a pre-release Liliana foil,
Nice.
Japanese pre-release, like super rare and really, really hard to find. And like it's one of the more popular like art cards. That guy is one of the original like anime artists. What's his name? Shout outs to Yoshitaka Amano. Just like a big time artist, a big time anime artist. So like, that's one of the cards that was super highly chased after, but it's not that good,
Yeah.
So like the problem with Magic is like if the card's really good, like nobody wants to grade it because they
That's what I
want.
mean. That's kind of why I was like, I can't imagine like, because like I can't imagine grading a Magic card, right? Like I mean, unless I own like I mean, an Alpha Lotus, then sure, fine, But like most of the stuff, like I mean, if, even if I have like a Mount Mox Diamond or like I've said it before, like a Mana Crypt, like I'd be playing with those, right? I just think they're cool to have in your deck, right? Like it's like,
You have
and
to.
to the point where like like I said, I did not sleeve a single Magic card until I was like until like 3 4 years ago, 5 years
I
ago.
don't approve of that. I don't approve. Just so you know, like we've been on the same page for pretty much
Yeah, I don't
most
know
of
what to
the
tell you,
stream,
man.
but like that right there, I don't approve.
Don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's fine. Like I listen, like you know what I mean? To each
Yeah,
his
yeah.
own.
I mean, like I've learned now. I mean, I can't not sleeve them now because just like coming from the sports, like you sleeve everything.
Yeah.
Everything gets sleeved. Like even like $2 $3 cards get sleeved because you don't know they might turn into like more expensive cards. And
Yeah.
that's actually one of the things I found most interesting about Commander is like cards I remember used to be so cheap and like really didn't have much of a use in like standard. If you
Mhm.
expand it, you're like, holy shit, that card from 10 years ago is actually
So good.
pretty damn dope now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the cool part about that's one of the things I love about Commander is like how it's brought a lot of the older cards that are just like were just useless and like Lion's Eye Diamond.
Yeah,
Bro, Lion's Eye Diamond? Nobody knew about that card.
yeah,
Nobody knew anything about it. Now it's like a $500 card,
yeah,
bro. I mean, it was like nothing, and now that with Underworld Breach is a dub.
yeah,
2 mana to win, 0 cost card with one colorless and a red mana, and I win the game. It's kind of
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
Commander's awesome, dude. I love it.
yeah, you and me both. I'm excited to continue to build this thing out and hopefully we play some time. I want to thank you for jumping on with me today and educating, some of the potentially sports card listeners a little bit more about Magic and more importantly about who you are as as a person and in this space. I think that people kind of get the gist of. I mean, you've shouted out so many people, and I think that's speaks volumes to who you are as a person and really trying to make sure that everyone gets love and that we commend the good things or there's everyone kind of gets what they deserve out here, right? So I really appreciate you for doing that and I'm sure the community does as well. And
Thank you.
yeah, man, thanks so much for jumping on.
Appreciate it, bro. I
Of
appreciate it.
course.
Let me do one last little
No,
bit of
plug away,
shout out.
man, plug away. Where can people
Yeah,
find you?
yeah. You
um
can you
Go
can
for it.
find me. You can follow me, Cassius Marsh, on TikTok, Instagram. And then as far as Cash Cards Unlimited, we're on YouTube. Everything Cash Cards Unlimited, YouTube, TikTok. You can follow us on Fanatics, Instagram, all that good stuff, guys. I want to shout, like I already shouted out Hidden Fortress. Shout outs to Hidden Fortress, my original store. Um, Shout outs to all the content creators on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of cool ones out there. If you go check out my TikTok, there's a bunch of dope dudes. And if you're out there making content, you see this video, you know what I mean? Send me a DM so I can check out your content and I'll show some love and I'll drop into your content and I'll drop into your comments and stuff like that. But um I love the community, dude, and I love building up other people, and I love how many people we see like creating like Pokemon content and sports content and Magic the Gathering and just like all the love, man. You know what I mean? Show more love to more people. Don't be afraid to hit that like button. Don't be
Yeah,
afraid to drop a comment and share with your friends, bro. You're not too cool to press the like button,
yeah,
guys. Show some love.
appreciate that. Team, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Cardboard Coach. Coach Co and Cassius Marsh are out of here. Peace.